This is one of my favorite shots, the wink. Yes! Here we go! Oh, it worked! And that's why we love her. Look at that. It will never be okay. Wow. I love this. She is so weird. What? It's Leviosa. If he's getting emotional, I'm done. I love this. Holy crap. I need to watch that again. This shot too. Yes, Harry. What? Now let me think about that. What are those? We're going there. Oh my gosh, yes. Rickman. He's very cool. I love this footage. Oh, stop. With the boys. Yeah, that's what I mean. Let's talk about the ball, please. The what? I'm trying not to look. He's so cute. That is... What? Yes! And the girls! I don't even know what to say. The shit is getting real, guys. Was that it? That was worth it. Hey everyone, and welcome back. Happy New Year! My name is Tia, for those of you who haven't been here before. I make reaction videos on this channel, and today I am finally reacting to the Harry Potter 20-year reunion special thing. I say finally because today it is the 3rd of January when I'm filming this, which means that I've been waiting for way too many hours already to watch this since it came out on the 1st. Okay, I haven't reacted to any Harry Potter things before. I've only had this channel since like May of this year. So at first I thought maybe I would just talk a little bit about my relationship with Harry Potter. So I think I was born at a perfect time when it comes to Harry Potter. I'm born in 94 and the first book came out in 97, I think. So I missed the first kind of hype. But then when it was like hitting the high, like when the movies were coming out, especially like the 3rd one, 4th one, 5th one, I was like there, you know? I'm a few years younger than like the main actors, so I think in a way it's super exciting to watch them because they're older than I am, so I'm like, wow, look at them, they're so cool. But at the same time, I'm not too young. You know what I mean? Compared to them. So I feel like I kind of grew up with them. I wasn't allowed to read the books for a very long time. I grew up in a very religious family. So stuff like this was a big no-no. But I remember reading the first few in a row, which was amazing. Because you know when you start the first one and you're like, wait, this is actually the best thing ever. And then you just get to keep going. So that was awesome. And I was reading them like in secret. And I think the 4th movie was the first one that I was able to see in the cinema, like kind of sneak out and like be able to actually watch it in the movie theater. And then I've seen all the other ones after that, obviously in the theaters. I love the books. Everyone loves the books if you actually give them a chance. And I know a lot of people have their opinions about the movies compared to the books. I love the movies. I seriously love all of them. I just love seeing this story that we read come to life. I'm not very picky or critical in that way when it comes to a lot of things that they leave out from the movies, for example. What I do on this channel, for those of you who have never seen my videos before, I really just focus on the positive things and things that I like about the stuff that I watch. I only want to watch stuff that I actually like. Like, I'm not here to criticize anyone. All I want to do is just share what I appreciate about shows or movies and stuff, because I love watching them. So it's so much fun to watch them with people. So now, as we're reaching the 20th anniversary of these movies, and then they make this reunion, I did not see this coming, by the way. I don't know if people feel the same. Like when they were releasing the first ads, I thought it was a joke. I was like, what do you mean? Like, are we there yet that we're making like a reunion? Like that's amazing. But I was not expecting that. And the fact that they're doing it on HBO Max, where they did the Friends reunion, for example, this year, I just love it. And I'm so excited to see this. The trailer and everything we've seen already, everything just looks amazing. Like, it looks like a full-on production that they put on just for this reunion, which is, I don't know, I just appreciate that so much. So many people from the cast are there, which is awesome. I mean, I'm not surprised because I feel like everyone who's been a part of these movies love them. I feel like everyone would like want to come back and like talk about them and reminisce and come back to the studio. I'm assuming this is filmed in the Warner Brothers studio where they still have all the sets and stuff. By the way, if you haven't been there, I've been there twice actually. I could not recommend it more. The Warner Brothers studio, like the Harry Potter tour thing in London. It is one of the best things I've ever seen. Like all the sets and everything that are still there that they've created, like this world that they've made based on the books, and then letting the people who love this world and these characters and these movies and these books walk into that world, even for just one day. So anyways, I couldn't recommend it more. I'm assuming that's where they're filming this. We'll see. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyways, we've seen, on the trailer, we've seen some faces of people who are gonna be there. And then there was a long list of like everyone else. And I tried not to look because I also want to be surprised by who is there, like who actually came back for this reunion. Anyways, I feel like I'm just all over the place because I'm so excited to watch this. I hope you guys have seen this already beforehand. Please watch it beforehand. Please get HBO Max just for this. I think it's worth it for 1 month. I don't know what else to say, except that I just love this world and how inclusive they have made it for like the whole world to feel like Hogwarts is home and these people are like our friends and our family. Like in a way, like I don't know how they do it, but in a way, even though it's such a big, huge franchise, it feels like we are part of it in a way, you know? Actually, I even have a tattoo, a quote, a small one, that I would be pretty shocked if we didn't see that quote in the reunion. If we do, I will show it. If we don't, I will edit this out. Anyways, for those of you who've never seen my videos before, I usually pause a lot in between to talk about things. But if you don't like that, I'm sorry. But that's just how I do this. So I don't think I'm gonna say anything more now. We're just gonna watch it. Okay, let's go. Guys, I don't know if I'll be able to like contain myself. Oh, I love that. That's the perfect quote to start with though. London, look at this. Oh, she is here. Oh, and there's Robbie. Oh, I love this. This is already amazing. Guys, stop. Oh. Nice. Very nice, very nice. Again, I feel like we're getting an invitation to this thing just through them. You know what I mean? Like, this is what they do with the movies, and now even this. Like, I feel like I'm being reunited with them. Oh, I love it. I love the bangs. I love it. She looks amazing. And with the hat too. This sequence. No, and the twins. Look. And the girls. This is, look, guys. Oh. Yes. Okay. I feel like I need to pause because I'm like, way too excited already. We're like 2 minutes in. Okay, I love how cinematic this is. I'm sure it's not gonna be like this the whole time, obviously, but this is just probably like the beginning sequence. This looks so beautiful. I love it when you can see that they've had a lot of money to put into this and just make it look so pretty. It's also making me feel very nostalgic and kind of emotional. Okay, for those who don't know, I'm not a big crier. I have cried before on this channel, but it doesn't happen often. So I'm not sure if I'll get emotional in this. And the fact that we can see them like in London first, like in a coffee shop and in a cab and stuff, and then we can see them like coming into the train. And now we're like on our way to Hogwarts, I'm assuming. With this music too. Yes! Oh nah. So we're like following her through this whole thing. Stop. Okay, we know a reference. We know that reference. Oh no, not Tom! Oh, look at them! I love this so much! This is so nice! Like, it's just beautiful to see how happy they are to see each other again. I'm sure, like, this is all acted. Like, this is the kind of awkward in-between thing when they're not playing the characters, they are being themselves, but still acting, you know, when they're filming these things. But in a way, like, this just works. It looks so good, man. Oh, and we're getting, like, an opening credits. I'm trying not to look again, like, at the names. But look at this dancing. It's so festive and Christmassy and beautiful. And look at him. Alfie boy. This is so nice. The Weasleys. Ooh. It's just, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. This dancing looks so pretty. Oh, stop this right now. And the food looks amazing as always. It's so funny how good the food always looked in these movies. Especially on like Christmas and stuff when there's so much food on the table. Yes, sir! Oh, I'm so excited to hear them talk about anything, honestly, but this is amazing. Look at this! What the heck? What the heck? I'm already like done. Was that it? That was worth it. That was worth the wait. Honestly, I'm gonna watch this again so many times after this. I love it that they started in the Great Hall. I mean, they had to. And it just all looked so effortless and like a musical, you know, in a way. I love that. And now are we seeing the boys then? With Hedwig's theme. Oh, look at him. Coming to Diagon Alley. I've been there. I've literally like stood right there. Seriously, guys, if you haven't been to the tour, go. This is like, you're gonna be here. Like literally walking on Diagon Alley. I'm just saying.
I couldn't know that at this very moment, people meeting in secret all over the country were holding up their glasses to Harry Potter, the boy who lived.
Yes! Yes! I love that they have Stephen Fry in this. Maybe they just like took parts of the, because he's the one who reads the audiobooks. Also, if you haven't listened to the books before, like the audiobooks, which are read by Stephen Fry, who is a genius. They're literally almost better than like just reading the books and the movies and everything. Like he's amazing. So I love that they would include him in this. Doing little quotes like that, that's amazing. The Boy Who Lived. Chapter 1.
Yeah, hey man, it's great
Oh.
to see you. How you doing, dude? How are you? It's so nice to see you.
Oh, Chris Columbus.
This is just very, very slightly.
I love it. They're at Dumbledore's office. That's amazing. Okay, I'm so excited to see who they're bringing back and what they're gonna talk about, because we've seen so much content over the years, you know, so many interviews, so many panels and things, and they've talked about the same things a lot. So I'm interested to see if they'll have like a lot of new information and new content and new things that they're talking about. It's very interesting to see what they tap into and what they don't, you know? And now that they have him here, he directed the first two, right? I think it just said that. Very cool that he would be here. It must be such a weird thing when you've directed the first two and then all the movies that came after that. Like, you kind of started the franchise, but then you don't get to finish it, or like, you know, that must be, I don't know, but he did a great job with the first
20
two.
years. How did it come to you? Like, I would never get to ask this question. Like, how did you end up doing it?
True.
I ended up doing it
That's
because
cool.
my daughter Eleanor convinced me to read the books after I refused 3 times. So once Prisoner of Azkaban came out, I said, immediately I saw the movies. I just saw them, and that hasn't happened since. Then I had to fly to Edinburgh to meet Joe Rowling.
That's
and
cool.
Essentially said, "This is my vision." She said, "That's exactly the way I see the movie."
That's insane, because that's a thing, like, what directors have to do. You have to have the entire movie just in vision, you know? Like, you only get scripts or books, and then you have to fill in all the gaps and, like, create the world around those words. So that's so cool that he would read them and he would just, like, immediately, like, see what the movies are gonna be. That's amazing. I love that so much.
The queues of kids round the block. I mean,
Oh, look at
thousands of them all
him.
waiting for the latest one.
Oh,
So many people were beginning to fall in love with J.K. Rowling's writing.
oh, she looks
I think I probably would have
amazing.
been about 8 years old. It became like our family thing.
Look
My dad
at her.
used to do all the voices, and my brother and I just became obsessed.
That is
first two.
insane.
I went for a sleepover at his house. And he said, well, Philosopher's Stone's there on the bookshelf. That's what we did.
Look at him.
We just put sat.
This is so cute that we're going through, like, how all of them came to the books. They were just like all of us. But then they became these characters to us. Like, that is... Ah, that's crazy.
Reading philosophy.
At the time of reading,
Oh,
it
look at
to
this
Fred
kid.
and George because there aren't many twins in literature.
The Chamber of Secrets was the first
True.
book that I sort of genuinely stayed up at night reading.
The writing was so vivid, perfectly designed.
Look at his shirt. I love it.
Millions who now read books who would never have lifted a book up in their lives.
It's so
And
true.
we suddenly realize the power of writing.
That is so true. That is so true. Like, how many people would only read these books and nothing else, pretty much, like, in their life? You know, that's crazy. The way that she forms sentences and chapters is just, like, brilliant. No matter what the story was, just the way that she writes would keep me interested for, like, a long time.
The search for Harry Potter was insane.
The new Harry Potter film are looking for children to play the 3 main roles in the multi-million-pound film.
Like, I can't even imagine.
And of course, while there's still one gentleman holding a boom mic straight over our heads, and this little girl asked me, "What's that?" I think he even said, "It's a mic, duh." No, I was like, they're filming us. This is just like a trick, like as if I'd done it before, really. I remember it because it was Emma.
I became...
Oh, I love that. What the heck? I love that you would remember that. That's so cute. And that's such a Draco answer as well, like reaction. Like, that's so funny if he's like, "It's a mic, duh."
I always knew that I was going for Hermione.
Look at
In
her.
a way that I think terrified my parents, because they were like, what are we going to do with her if she doesn't get the part?
I was just excited. I wasn't sort of daunted. I wasn't thinking, I wonder how many films they're going to make. Anything like that. I thought, oh, this will be fun.
I think the biggest pressure at the
Cute.
beginning was who was going to be Harry Potter.
We couldn't find Harry.
Yeah.
We just couldn't find Harry. And it was getting kind of weird.
Look at her.
And panicky.
I was
Filmed in
my
2019, did
hotel
it
room
say?
and
Find Harry. And
So she probably wasn't like a part of this reunion. They just used old
pressure at the
footage.
beginning one night watching the BBC version of David Copperfield. Immediately a light bulb went off in my head and I said, "This is Harry Potter. This is the kid we've been looking for
Right.
months." So I
Look at
asked the
him.
casting director,
I think the deal was to sign on for like all 7 films and they would be filmed in LA. So mum and dad were like, no, that's like a huge disruption to his life.
fortunately David
In
Heyman-
LA? Was that the plan originally? Would, like, what? They were gonna fly all these British kids to America for like a decade to make these movies? Like, what? That's
So
crazy.
mum and dad were
David, being the great producer that he is, convinced Dan's father to bring Dan in for an audition, and that's
Yes, David.
basically
That's a dragon egg.
I love this clip.
What is that?
Dragon egg.
Look at him.
I was very happy because you had a
He's
really
so cute.
wanted
this kid sitting there talking, and I just thought, yeah, that's him. Thank God we found him.
Rupert and Emma.
Look.
were-
I mean, they are Ron and Hermione. photo is adorable. Look at Rupert's face.
I never got to look in here. I checked this out first term for a bit of light reading. This is light. Shut up. Your filch comes around the corner.
Dan is like laughing. It's just so cute. It's so like probably cringe to watch this, like if they're watching this footage or even if they're watching the actual films of them like as children acting, because obviously they evolved as actors a lot during these movies, but I just love the first movies because of that, because they're such kids. They are really good, but it's, you can like clearly see that they're acting in a way. Do you know what I mean?
He points off Griffin.
Like she's so animated. I love it.
I knew it. Here it is. Of the Sorcerer's Stone. The what?
The what?
Honestly, don't you two read?
Look at them! I can't! This is so cute! Wait, I need to look at that last shot again when they're smiling. Look at them!
It's lovely seeing you.
They are
This
adorable.
is surreal, isn't it?
How do we all feel being...
Ah, here they are in the common room. Wow, they're using the sets so nicely in this. This is so nicely directed already, this whole reunion. It's been like 10 minutes, but this, I love it.
It doesn't feel like much time has passed. It doesn't feel like we've kind of earned a reunion yet.
I know.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, have they earned a reunion yet? I mean, in a way, of course. But at the same time, it's weird, because I feel like we're not that old yet, right? That we're getting a reunion. Also, Dan looks amazing. I think he's, like, everything that's going on with his facial hair and everything, he looks great. I really,
Yeah,
I
very much the same.
appreciate
It's
it.
surreal. I have had kidney stones and a baby at the same time. There's obviously I feel my age.
But there is like
I
such
love
a
that.
collection of like shared memories and stuff that we just all did together that is immediately very easy to be like to sort of slip back into where you were. Our first audition, the day we all met, another like young brown-haired boy going the other way. I never saw his face, but I was like, you are clearly another Harry that is being tested out today. And
That's
they were, like,
crazy.
testing us in
Imagine,
different
who is that guy? And where is he now?
directions from Harry and Hermione.
I do remember that when it was the three of us, something felt different and right and easy. I do
love
remember
that.
the click.
That's so cool. Like, they would have all then read with a bunch of other kids as well, like with different combinations. And it's so cool to hear that even them as kids would have felt it when it was like, well, this is it. The three of us, like, this works. Because they work so well together. Like, their chemistry is amazing.
We're announcing you've got the parts. There is now going to be a lot of media outside your house, so you can't go home.
So far, it's
That's
sort of
insane.
turned things upside down. It's, I don't know, I've never had anything happen to me like this before.
I love her. I love like early interviews of them because they're just children. So how do they even like answer questions from the press? You know, like how can they even form thoughts that make any sense in a situation like this when you're like sitting in a panel? They're like, what, 10? And she's like, it is quite exciting. I just love it.
Hermione made complete sense to me. That's me. Like, I am that girl.
Well, Emma
Yeah,
was
Luca.
arguably the smartest person on the set. And I'm talking about everybody. She was a brilliant kid.
I love
I'm
that.
scarily like my character. So I live in a family of 7, and I've got a red-headed sister, and I live in a burrow.
Rupert is just the most camera.
What the heck? He's just so cute. Oh, I love the way that they're building this reunion.
Rupert was Ron, you know, and Dan kind of was Harry.
Yeah.
About becoming famous.
Be cool.
We're all talking about this. How
I love it.
Well, on the first film, I was dying the entire time. But I always believe you cannot bring that kind of anxiety. I want everyone to
True.
feel comfortable. I want everyone to feel like it's a family.
Yeah.
I want everyone to feel like they're home.
That's his job. That's so cool. And he obviously did a really great job with that. Like, he has this huge group of kids. They must have known at that time that they're gonna become like super famous. But also he has all of this pressure on him to make the first Harry Potter film. And for him to say that he was like dying the entire time for the first movie, like I believe him. Anyways, that's so cool. I love this.
The first several weeks on the film, the kids are basically in shock.
Looking back, I am sort of amazed at the fact that I wasn't ever like completely overwhelmed by it.
Dan,
True.
when you turn away from her this time, turn away. Grab hold of this. Look up, like you're going to get it, okay?
I love this. I don't think we've seen this footage before. That's the thing that I appreciate. Even with the Friends reunion that they did, I'm sorry I keep referring this to that, but we've seen so much content of it along the years, but they would obviously have so much footage that none of us have ever seen before. None of them had even seen before, as they said in the reunion. That they're saving it up and now they're showing it to us. This is so cool.
They kept us having fun the whole time. Obviously, we were just kids and we were all looking forward to mucking about together. Chris Columbus made the atmosphere very much like a fun fair.
That's so true. Like, they would have just been kids. And the only thing that the director and the producers and everyone in the crew can do is pretty much just to let them be kids so that they stay, like, sane, you know? But it must be exhausting as well because you also have a movie to make. I love it. Look at these
They
guys.
made their jobs harder for themselves by letting us have as much fun as we had.
Exactly.
It distracted us from, you know, the work we were supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
He used to go down on his knees to talk to them and huddle around so nobody could hear.
He was such a dad as well. Like, and you could really feel that. Like,
I love that.
Be a little looser with this. And just be talking. You know what I'm saying? Often you're like frozen like this, but you can be. No. Did you really think? Of course, he's reuse it. Go back to Good job, though.
But it's not easy.
I love it. I love this kind of footage where you can see the director directing the actor. I love that. He was making Rupert feel safe and feel like, just try it like this, just loosen up, you know? And then at the end being like, good job though. So cool that they would show this to us.
Fancy seeing you
Oh.
boys here?
Snuck away.
Couple of Gryffindors.
Hey, with the boys.
You might get like 3 people to do the right thing, but it doesn't mean you're going to get the other 5 in the background doing the right thing.
And Rupert
That's
was
so
relentless. Basically, just let us be kids.
True.
I never recall feeling like we're working.
No.
But that's so important, isn't it, that we had that? Yeah. That's why it feels that way when you watch it. It feels like kids.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what's funny about that.
I
though,
love,
is
like,
they-
I love Alfie. Just the way that he's reacting to everything. He just seems such a nice guy. Like, even here, the way he's talking to Tom, he's like, yes, true.
It feels that
Look
way
at
when
him.
you watch it. It feels like kids.
That's true.
Yeah.
I
What's funny
love
about
it.
that though is being surrounded by all the cream of the British acting industry and not having a clue who anyone is. I've got Richard Harris worked here as a tour guide for a while.
That's so true. Honestly, the cast, like outside of the children, like when it comes to the actors in England, it's insane. Like everyone was in these movies. Everyone who was anyone was here. And obviously they wouldn't know any of them because they're just kids. That's so funny though.
The kids had the capability of understanding the gravity of who they were dealing with at the time.
That
Yes.
was no stranger Hagrid met him.
Aw.
It was Snape.
Good afternoon.
The British royalty of the acting world.
Yes. Yes.
You've got to say to yourself, just grow up around and hear
Oh, and Dame Maggie
interact and
Smith.
hear the
The adult actors came in and were like the mischief in a
I
funny
love
way.
it. And Kenneth Branagh, I keep forgetting that he was in one of these. He didn't direct one, right? He was just an actor in this one. I love him. The character of Lockhart is so horrible, but he just becomes him and you kind of forget that it's him.
Robbie Coltrane.
he was such a kid, like,
Yes.
so immature and like just so much fun.
He loved making us laugh, and he was in.
Oh, stop!
That like kindness and that warmth from you, it made all the difference.
Well, we spent so much
Oh, I
time together.
love seeing them like support each other and like say nice things about each other to them, you know? It's so nice seeing people get all like, oh, stop. It's so cool to see them like support each other like this. This is beautiful. Look at them.
that like kindness and that warmth from you, it made all the difference.
I think most of my favourite scenes, if I'm honest, looking back, are with you and the gang in Hagrid's hut.
I keep thinking about that scene where I get called
Same.
a mudblood.
Yes.
And you were so sweet with me that day. Because it was like my first, like, you know, big piece of acting.
True. It is. And she does such a great job in this scene.
He did not.
When she turns with the tears in her eyes.
Dirty blood.
Here. Yes.
Mudbloods are really foul.
And the fact that he would be so supportive. And that she would remember that after all these years. Like, imagine what kind of impact these actors and the directors and everyone in the crew would have had in these kids' lives. They were like the grown-ups that they were growing up with and looking up to. Like, that's insane.
On that set.
Some of the sets on Potter were overwhelming to me, and I've been doing it for 35 years, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, blimey.
The very first time I visited the set, they walked me through the Great Hall, which was mind-blowing.
All the floors are real.
The tour, I don't want to spoil anything, but the tour in the studio starts with the Great Hall. And it's literally like when you're walking in through these doors, it's like, it is mind-blowing. And with all the lights and everything and all the people there, it must have been like magical. Because it was magical even like walking in there now and being like, this is where they filmed it. This is it.
All the floors are real York stone. A lot of those scenes with 250 extras, they're all about 18 and trampling around. And you're not going to put a plastic floor down. It's got to be the real stuff. And all
Right.
these lit candles going up and down in wires.
One of my favourite moments on set ever.
They were
was the
on
moment
wires?
the floating candles started burning through the ropes that tied them to the ceiling and just started falling around the Great Hall.
Hundreds of real candles that were really lit on the fishing line.
What?
On the ceiling.
So much of that would be visual effects now.
What?
We got-
Is that true? That is crazy. They were actually hanging candles? How? Did anyone think that that was safe? That would never happen today, like on a movie set. That is insane.
So much of that would be visual effects now. The fact that we got to actually
Yes.
build that
True,
set.
that's so cool.
Thank you, Stuart Craig.
Yeah. Ugh, we love you, Stuart Craig.
We do. Stuart Craig is the freaking genius. And then some Quidditch. Let's go.
A pitch that felt authentic and real for a game that is completely unreal.
What do you mean?
Angelina Johnson scores! 10 points for Gryffindor!
I always wanted to
I
test.
love this
There was a
footage.
moment
So cool.
on day 2 maybe or 3. The camera pushes into you and you say, we're not going home, not really.
Feels strange to be going home. I'm not going home. Not really.
I got tears. I still get tears in my eyes thinking about it. I thought, this guy,
Aw.
this kid is an amazing actor. And it was that moment.
Wow, look at
That
him.
kind of
He is
opened up
so
the-
emotional.
is
That's I
amazing.
love that. See, this is what I mean? Them like encouraging each other like this. I love this so much. And this shot is beautiful. I agree with him.
I got tears.
Yes.
I still
Look
this
at Dan.
guy, this kid is an amazing actor. And it was that moment that kind of opened up the whole world for us. And the first, once it became a hit and people accepted not only the film but accepted the cast.
Right, yeah.
I had a ball on the second film, The Chamber of Secrets, because
I
was
love
like,
that.
free.
Yes. Yeah, I would imagine like all the pressure that he was feeling during the first one, he wouldn't have that in the second one because people already loved it. When you're creating the first movie, there's so much expectation and everyone's ideas of what everyone looks like, what everything looks like, what Hogwarts is like everything is like, and you need to like create that. But when you see that people love what you've created, then you just get to play with it. With the second one. That's so cool. I really, really appreciate him sharing all this. Yes! Oh, now we have to see them though, the Weasleys, right?
Morning, Weasleys!
I always loved any scene where the kind of Weasleys were all together, like the Burrow scenes. It just
Same.
had this frenetic energy.
It changed all the time. It sort of expanded and
Here.
contracted. One minute there was a huge fireplace with flue powder. And,
Oh, with
and
Bonnie
then
as
there was
well.
and then it got
I'm sorry, I'm not listening to what he's saying. This is just, I love the way this is built. I'm gonna say like about 100 times from now on, I'm really sorry. but the fact that we would talk about the first movie first and kind of focus on the main 3 actors and then Chris Columbus. Then we move to the next movie and then we get the Weasleys involved because they're we meet a lot of them in the second one, like, properly, you know? And this is when we hear, like, this interview for the first time. I love this so much. Whoever directed, produced, whatever, this reunion is genius. And I'm gonna watch this so many times.
I feel like being a Weasley is the best part of being
Yes.
So we had like our Hogwarts family, but I felt like so special having an actual extra and all these scenes that we got on top of everything else.
Look at them.
Julie Walters, who played my mother, Mrs. Weasley.
Yes, she
was
did.
just so wonderful and brilliant to me. She really kind of took me under her wing, and she just was like the perfect mother figure.
The twins were 2 people I was really close with. They would bounce off each other.
Dumbledore,
Who? Who did?
Dumbledore must know you're here.
I love it.
Stop.
Isn't working. Can you believe it?
Oh.
How are you? Good. This is so exciting. Yeah.
It's just so nice. You know, when people in show business probably often have to pretend that they like each other. But here, like, you can see that the way that these kids, especially who are not kids anymore, are like looking at him when he walks into a room, their eyes like lit up and they're like, Chris Columbus is here, you know? Like, that says so much about, like, the way that he would have acted with them when they were kids. And he was, like, bringing them, like, up, like, racing them. Like, look at the twins here. Look at them. And her, they're all like, he's here. That's amazing. I love that.
We didn't know you were going to... They are very inclusive. And then you see the complete opposite with the Malfoys.
Yeah, it's always such a good comparison, the two families
I mean, you've got
side by side.
a real chalk and cheese
So
side.
true.
Now, Draco.
Oh.
Nicely.
Is he gonna be here? Jason? This is, again, such a cool transition now if we're going into...
I was first aware of
Yes.
Harry Potter because everybody was reading the books on the tube. Everywhere I went. I'm convinced I ended up playing Lucius because I didn't want to. I went to audition for Gilderoy Lockhart and Chris said, that was great, would you mind reading a different part? I was about to play Captain Hook and Peter Pan, and I thought, well, I don't want to play 2 children's villains.
Yes,
And
he
I read-
did, but he also played the dad in the same movie, so he kind of had that balance in a way. That's so cool. Wait, so he auditioned for Lockhart first. But he's a perfect Lucius, though. He is so good in this horrible, horrible role. It's kind of scary.
Gilderoy Lockhart, and I read through gritted teeth, deeply bitter, and of course that's exactly what was necessary.
Yes.
And they asked me to play Lucius, and
That's-
thank God they did.
That's so cool.
And a hand-me-down robe? You must be a Weasley.
He's a product of his parents, Draco, and he's got really bad parents. If Hagrid was your first
True.
influence, if your dad is a psychopath wielding a cobra cane about, you're probably not going to be the friendliest geezer.
Take 1 8 them up. Tom.
He is so right.
Slow. Telling a tale. It's sinister. Soft. Set and action.
I adored Tom from
Nice.
the second I met him.
Working with Jason was a real treat. In fact, working with Jason was not always a treat.
Now, let me think about that. Actually, it was horrible because he turned into a horrible person every time Chris Columbus would yell action.
Immediately turned into the most unfriendly, horrible person
Yes.
I've ever met.
The very first scene that I shot was actually cut and it's on the deleted scenes. Draco touched something and I used this cane and I went...
Don't touch anything, Draco.
But I didn't know how sharp the teeth were. And they went right into little Tom's hands. And
Oh
he
my
looked up at me
gosh.
And he went, no, it's all right. It's good for the scene.
What? Have we heard this story before? I don't think I have. That's so cute. Not Dobby.
Such an honour it is.
I remember saying to a friend, you know, I've got this part, it's an elf.
Oh, I keep forgetting that it's Toby Jones who plays Dobby. When Dobby died, I feel like we all died inside. He was such a weird little character, but I love that Toby Jones is here.
How important this character was.
Yes. He's important to us, okay?
We did take And he goes, thank you, Lucy, be all. And I swung my leg out. I stepped down, I swung my stick. And Chris goes, cut! Can we clean the floor where Jason slipped, please? And I said, no, I didn't slip. He said, well, what happened? And I said, I kicked Dobby down the stairs.
Oh. Oh, I love that.
So this is going to be ridiculously good fun.
Oh, that's amazing. So he improvised that? Because there's also another thing in that scene where Jason improvised the line where he says something along the lines of like, well, at least Mr. Potter will always be here to save the day. And him going like, don't worry, I will. I've heard them talk about that many times where he improvised that line and like they just wanted to see how Dan would react to it. And that was his reaction that we now have like in the film forever. Like that's so cool. And then he would improvise that as well. Can we clean the floor where he slipped? He was like, no, I was just kicking Dobby around. That's so cool.
The sock is pathetic, isn't it, on one level, but on another level, it's everything. And
Master has given Dobby a sock.
What?
I didn't.
What?
Master has presented Dobby with clothes. Dobby is free.
one of the major themes is this alliance of friends who endure.
I love this scene. It's so freaking cute when she's like hugging him and then getting all awkward.
So you and I had one
and
of
like
our
shaking
greatest
hands
laughs
with
together
Ross.
with Richard Harris, and we had a animatronic version of Fox the Phoenix, and it was this big red bird that doesn't exist.
That does
in
not
life.
exist.
Richard came in and looked at the Phoenix and said, "Wow, they train these animals marvelously these days."
What? That's amazing! What the heck? Wait, so the bird that we see on the movie is actually there, and someone is like moving it? That is... What? And that they would trick Richard Harris into thinking that it's an actual bird? That's so funny.
We never told him.
No, we never told him.
No.
We
What?
thought it was a real bird. It was insane that we...
What the heck? They never told him. This is amazing. That's so freaking funny. Oh man, he thought it was a real bird.
No, we never told him.
No, I do not know of another human being that could have started the series in the way you did.
Well, that makes me feel great. I've always felt guilty about leaving. It's been the greatest experience of my life.
Wow. I love that they're sharing this moment and showing it to us. This is just, I love this so much.
It matters not what someone is born,
Oh,
but what they grow to be.
another quote. Are we moving on to the next chapter again? Yes. Chapter 2. Okay. So we're taking like 2 movies at a time. That's really cool. I love that.
Hello.
Oh. Okay, guys. Oh, Gary Oldman is here. Of course, we're going into him. As soon as we talk about Azkaban, we have to. I love him so much.
Hello.
He looks so cute. I love this jacket and everything that's going on.
It's part of Joe's themes of don't judge a book by its cover. You know, the image of Sirius Black as a criminal is one that's presented to Harry.
Yes. It's one of the best character developments in movies or books, I think. I was just like mind blown because they build it so well. They build it. Joe built it so well in the book. It's just brilliant, and I love the way that he plays this character.
And Gary is such a remarkable actor. One of the reasons we chose him is he obviously has the potential for darkness, but he has such soul and has such a warmth within.
Yes, that's so true. He's such a warm person, like I've ever met him. I have obviously not, but like even now here how he was like reacting to Dan coming into the potions class, he just seems like such a nice, warm man. I love that.
It was interesting. I met Alfonso, and I think at the time he was the main attraction.
Now remember, guys.
That's right. Alfonso Cuarón directed the third one. I keep forgetting. This is amazing that we're going through like all of them, because he's done a lot of great work after this as well, and been nominated for different things and whatever.
Remember, guys, that you have to take care of your
And of course it's Azkaban.
For Azkaban, it's a coming of age. There's a big cloud that overshadows everything around Harry, and we needed to convey that also stylistically.
Yeah, the third one is such a dark movie compared to the first two.
Descriptions that J.K. Rowling has of the Dementors are very scary. And I really wanted to convey this sense that the Dementors, what they do is they suck all the joy away.
Yeah, I think he did a really good job with the Dementors. Because in the books, like he said, they're terrifying. But I think they're even more terrifying in the movies. And this scene, man.
The first person I remember being like in awe of when they came in was Gary.
I remember
Oldman.
that. I remember you giving me
freaking out.
the Gary chat. Yeah, you were like, listen, Emma, you need to be cool. Because Gary Oldman is a really big deal and you need to be cool. And I was like, okay.
Which was really a projection of my own fears, because I was like, Dad, you need to be cool. This is a big deal.
That's so cool that he would be the first one, because they've already worked with like Julie Walters and Alan Rickman and Maggie Smith and all these people, but then Gary Oldman is the one that he's freaking out. I mean, I guess he would reach the age, if he was 14, he would actually start to like realize that these guys are like big deal, you know? I love that. I don't think they've shared that before. That he needs to have the Gary chat with Emma.
And Gary was amazingly generous as a person, but also as an actor, and immediately embrace him and include him in the acting process. It was really sweet to see the two of them. And it was almost as if it was mirroring that relationship, because in many ways
you could see in the way that Dan looked at Gary, the adulation, the respect that he had for him.
All the stuff in the Shrieking Shack at the end, I feel like me, Rupert, and Emma were just like watching tennis in that scene, just being like, this is acting, guys. This is what we all need to be working towards.
I love that. That's what I mean. Like, it's such a good scene.
At the end, I feel
watching
like
tennis.
Like watching like, this is acting, guys. This is what we all need to be working towards.
I love it.
There was Tim Spall.
Yes.
The one and only Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
Oh.
Davis Hewlett.
Oh, look at him in a denim jacket.
The one and
This is a shot right here. That's amazing. Them rehearsing, Gary in like a full-on serious costume, and Alan Rickman literally in a denim jacket.
Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
Davis Hewlett. You, Emma, Rupert.
It's really nice of you to include me, Emma, and Rupert in that group. To watch you guys act, but also just watching you guys as people and just watching.
Wait! I did my waiting! 12 years of it!
In Azkaban.
In Azkaban!
I have never done a scene with such an amazing cast in my life.
Yeah.
It's a very long scene.
Wow.
It's a scene in which there are a lot of twists inside the scene.
Yes.
So much
I love that we're talking about this scene. I'm sorry, I'm going back. That's so cool that he would say that this is like the scene with the best actors that he's ever worked with.
I have never done a scene with such an amazing cast in my life.
That's amazing.
It's a very long scene. I love it. I have such a great memory of it.
I told
That's so cool.
I always loved the character of Sirius. I love the relationship Harry and Sirius have. He's like this cool uncle, but also older brother figure. And
he's painted as this villainous guy, and then has the switch where you go, oh, he was set up, and he's a good
It's
guy.
so brilliant.
He's kind of cool.
Yeah.
He's
I
very
wish
cool.
I'd had the whole picture. You know, we only ever found out book.
Yeah, book.
I don't know whether you were, because you
Not.
were Harry Potter,
Just Rickman.
you had a...
Rickman did, that was it.
Rickman?
He had the inside line.
Rickman? That's true. He knew like everything beforehand, right? Aw, I love this. He's like, what the heck? Why did he know? I didn't even know.
Rickman?
He had the inside line.
He worked that way.
He very, very early said to Joe, he was like, I think I need to know what happens.
Give me a reason.
No, that's right. I'm sorry. He only knew about his death. That was the discussion. I just realized that now. Like, he was talking about, like, who knew about if they're gonna die, like, beforehand, or if they read it in the book and then find out that, like, he would have read that Sirius dies in that one. But Rickman was the only one that I love this story that he has known the entire time the switch that Snape has at the very end. Like he has known that the whole time because Joe told him. That's one of my favorite facts about these movies and books and this whole world. The fact that he knew the whole time. That I just think that's so cool.
Rickman would have an in, wouldn't he?
Did, yeah. And never told Chris, never told anyone. Chris would literally say to him, "Why are you doing that with that?" He said, "I'll tell you later."
What?
Yeah, you'll find out.
That's amazing that he would make choices as an actor and the director would ask him, "Why do you do that?" And him going, "You'll find out later." That's amazing. I don't think I've heard that before. That's so cool.
I'll tell you later.
That's so good.
Yeah, you'll find out.
Yeah,
yes, on a need-to-know basis.
That was
That's
not
so
a child.
good.
Alfonso was like, now you're teenagers.
Oh, it's just two of them?
And he was the first one who like assigned us homework.
He asked us to write an essay in character.
Then after about sort of a half a side of A4, I was like, I feel like you've pretty much covered everything. Like, Joe's written a good 500 pages about this, but I feel like this one pretty much sums it up. Great, okay, yeah, cool, proud of that, bring that in.
Of course, Emma writes like 12 pages.
That's so good.
Beautifully written.
Rupert didn't deliver anything.
He didn't do it.
I said, "Rupert, where's your assignment?" It says, "Well, I thought that Ron wouldn't do it."
That's brilliant. Of course, Emma would write like 12 pages and then him being like, "I don't think Ron would do it." I mean, he's not wrong. I agree with him actually, but that is so funny.
I mean, luckily, Alfonso kind of saw that it was very in character for me not to have done it.
Rupert is Ron.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just
I
Ron
love that.
100%.
It was like a family, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It more than any other experience. You never have that in the movies, but with Potter, you would come back and around. That's what made it.
Wow, yeah.
Amongst many things, what made it very special.
Yeah, it just feels like
I love that.
being in these, you get to be a part of film history.
Here we go. Goblet of Fire. I can't wait to hear them talk about this. I mean, the fourth one has to be like everyone's favorite, right? I mean, it doesn't have to be, but I feel like it's the most common answer to like which one is your favorite one. And it again has such an amazing twist at the end, which is horrible and like so dark. But the way that the movie ends after all of this is just so cool.
Like I remember seeing the Beauxbatons come and do their entrance and the Durmstrangs.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
I love that. It's very cool.
We wanted a British director. We wanted something quite theatrical.
Thank you very much.
Mike is just this excited, loud, passionate man.
Yes, sir.
I love Mike. He was great. I mean, he was almost like he was from the books. He was like a Hogwarts character.
Oh, that's so cool.
Is the biggest of them. It's about 900 pages. It's a doorstop.
Here he is. Look at that.
House brick.
It's probably only a couple of films in that I sort of started to feel nervous. And I remember
Things changed when Columbus left. It was definitely a bit of a different.
it was a different vibe.
So I got.
Mike knew.
Mike treated us like adults.
That was it.
Yes.
He did, I suppose.
I love that. Because Chris would have had to treat them like kids, because they were kids. And then Alfonso would have had to treat them like teenagers. And now Mike was the first one to treat them like adults. That's so cool. This is why you need different directors for these movies. Because the movies are so different and they keep changing and evolving. So if it was just one person in charge of all of them, it wouldn't really work as well, at least.
We did have fun on set.
The Weasley Twins, whom I was very fond of.
Yes.
They had to fight.
We were doing the scene when Fred and George are rejected from entering
Wait,
the Drivers' Tournament.
are they?
And then
Wait.
We were doing the scene when Fred and George...
Are the names? No. This is... Wait. Did they switched them on purpose? What the heck? Because this is Oliver and this is James, right? That's so funny.
What looked like old men. And Mike said, okay, so I think you guys would be really annoyed with each other. I think you should have a fight about this.
These two were sort of pressing about at it.
Mike just came over and said, no. Okay, who wants to fight? And like an idiot, I was like, yeah, okay.
Well, of course, I was a tubby 60-year-old gent at that stage.
Oh, no.
And I really shouldn't have done it.
Oh,
and so he
no.
dived on me and like just went like this. To which I said, oh, okay. So I did the same to him.
Oh,
I
no.
remember gripping him round the waist and trying to fling him about and so forth, and cracked a couple of ribs, and so was in absolute agony from but of course the...
What? What the heck? Cracked a few ribs? Oh no. I don't think I've heard this before either. That's amazing. I mean, that's horrible, but I love that they're sharing this.
You know when you shouldn't break a director's rib?
They are Fred and George. Oh, gosh.
In The Goblet of Fire, that film is just all about teenagers, you know, having crushes for the first time, asking someone to the date, and they really felt like that too, because we were literally having the same experiences.
The amount of...
On set, I wouldn't be surprised if that was, like, the exact same stuff was happening, like, behind the camera as well.
A lot of hormones flying around.
There was crushes and people went out with each other and broke up, and just like you're doing, just like I used to do at school. It was exactly the same environment.
That's so cool.
But it was just in a different...
That they're talking about this. I mean, it's so, like, of course they would. Of course they would have that. It would be so funny to hear, like, who went out with whom if they're, like, some of the main characters or, like, the characters, the actors that we know. That would be funny to know.
That film's probably peak hormone, at least for me. It was exactly what you'd expect.
Poor
and
Harry.
especially like the fourth film was the one with like the Beauxbatons and the Durmstrangs. So like you had a bunch of like hormonal teenagers anyway, and then like bring in two massive groups of new people. All of them are like purposefully hot for the film. So it's
so true. Both the groups look amazing. That's the whole point.
He is just like a slightly awkward teenage boy in a very unremarkable way, which I suppose feels sort of remarkable for a hero character in something.
You say dragons. You
True.
can't get a date.
One of the big sequences was the Christmas ball.
Yes. Yule Ball! Let's talk about the ball, please. I mean, I love that scene so much because, again, when we read it in the book, it just sounds magical. And you're like, I cannot wait to see this in the film, and it looks so pretty.
Maggie's right in the middle, and she says, right, I'm going to teach you to dance. Of course, she picks Rupert.
Yes.
And she says...
Place your right hand on my waist.
The kid's 14, and you know...
I'd never danced with a lady before.
With a lady. Oh, I love him. Bless his heart.
They kind of convinced me before we filmed it that there was this whole like dance routine plan.
We were like, do you know your steps? Well, you know, the routine. Like, we've all been doing the routine for like 6 weeks or something like that.
Just trying to build the
That's so funny.
And this way. No, you will have to lead eventually. Understood?
One of the most enchanting
I love
things
her.
was the great
She's
ball.
probably my favorite character / actor in these movies, honestly. I will say that about all of them, but right now, it's her. Great Aunt Tessie.
What are those?
What are those?
The suits we had on were like...
Honestly, this thing that Ron is wearing, I don't mind it. I know it's supposed to look horrible, and it kind of does, but at the same time, it is kind of cool.
You didn't feel cool at really any point.
I think they all looked
Well,
cool.
my great Aunt Tessie.
I smell like my great aunt.
Smell like my great Aunt Tessie.
It was very Weasley.
Yeah, it's perfect.
I pulled it off.
Yeah, you did.
Pulled it off.
Emma obviously looked beautiful and was in an incredible dress, and me and Rupert looked like, I don't know, Austin Powers mates or something.
I mean, it's kind of true.
I think for the first time, Harry and Ron, particularly Ron, see Hermione as a young woman.
Yeah, it's so true.
Not
It's such a great moment when she's like walking down the stairs. I just love it. And the whole world like stops.
I knew it was a big deal, and I was miserable. I just knew it was the like duckling becomes a swan moment. I knew it was just like all of this pressure suddenly.
And yeah,
Don't swing your arms.
I get that.
Okay.
Mike Newell
Don't
coached me
swing
to
your
walk down the
arms.
stairs in the dress. He's giving me a million different directions about how to walk down the stairs, and of course, I fell down the stairs.
What?
A bunch of very self-conscious teenagers.
No, come on. I mean, the ending product looked beautiful, so well done. You can see what the scene now looks like. You're gonna be like, okay, this, like, there's so much pressure. There's like a big moment. So it would be probably so uncomfortable for her.
So,
Yeah, I feel like I'm pretty rigid in that dance scene.
He is, but it's fine.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Stylish. Lucky man. Lucky man.
Okay,
We've
Tom.
always loved each other, really.
Oh wait, where are we going with this? They've talked about this many times too. I think Emma has said that she was like, she had like a huge crush on Tom, like since the very beginning. Are we talking about that now? I am here for it.
Lucky man. Lucky man.
Lucky man.
We've always loved each other, really.
I walked into the room where we were having tutoring. The assignment that had been given was to draw what you thought God looked like. And Tom had drawn a girl with a backward cap on a skateboard. And I just don't know how to say it. I just fell in love with him.
I think I was in the hair and makeup chair.
What? Oh, that is so cute. I haven't heard that before. That's amazing. What a cute thing to share in this. That's so adorable.
I don't know how to say it. I just fell in love with him.
I don't know.
I think I was in the hair and
It
makeup
just
chair.
happened.
I
love
someone
that.
said something along the lines of, yeah, she had a crush on you.
I used to come in every day and look for his number on the call sheet. It was number 7. And if his number was on the call sheet, it was an extra exciting day. He was 3 years above me. And so for him,
Stop.
it's like, you're like my little sister.
Became very protective over her. Yeah, I've always had a soft spot for her. And that continues to the day.
I think really the truth of it was Tom
I love it.
was the one that I could often be more vulnerable with.
There's always been something that's like,
Hmm.
I don't know, a kinship.
Nothing has ever happened romantically with us. We just love each other. That's all I can say about that.
That's all she can say about that. Oh my goodness. I love that they're talking about this though, because since they talked about it for the first time, people have been kind of like, oh my gosh, it was a thing. Is it still a thing? Is it gonna be a thing? What is going on with Emma and Tom? But I love that she would like actually be like, nothing has ever happened, but we just love each other. Okay, we're like halfway through the whole thing. I think we're gonna pause here and we're gonna continue in part 2. Wow, this is okay. I love this so much. I love this kind of stuff. We can talk about the movies and the behind the scenes stuff that happened back then. We can see clips of the films, which look beautiful. But then there's also like big production behind this reunion. We can see them in these different locations and the way it's directed, this whole thing, and the way it's edited. You can see that someone or a lot of people have put a lot of effort into this. And I don't think there's been too much repetition. I feel like there's a lot of new footage, new stories, new things that they're sharing, and it's so wonderful to see them talk to each other so nicely as well and appreciate each other. And it's so cool to see that. I just love that they made this and we get to enjoy this. We're gonna continue in part 2, guys. I will see you there. Bye!